In 6th, in the Hilltop Bagels collision work, number 51, it is Kevin Ornberger. Starting in 7th, in the Millennium Limited Contracting, Justin's Chop Shop, number 36, it is Kyle Elwood. Starting in 8th, in the C-Pro Marine Dock Builders, number 12, it is Charlie Hodge. And rounding out the field, in the Progressive Movers, Sponsors Wanted, number 60, it is Mark Godnick. 10 laps to be the distance for these heat races. Top 6 to the feature event, and top 4 to handicap for said feature event.
Sunday afternoon here at Riverhead Raceway. A makeup rain date. Thank you for being here today at Riverhead. And those watching on FloRacing, we want to just welcome everybody. We have the Inex Legends now coming to green.
Metcalf and Sinatra lead us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags in the air. We're racing for heat race number 1 in the Inex Legends. Sinatra with the early advantage on the outside. He's going to clear for P1, bringing Chevy Romney on the outside for P2.
We got a battle back there for 4th between Ed Statlander, Michael Wren in the 7 underneath. Statlander and Ornberger have a little contact there in turn number 1. Caution is out. Kevin Ornberger stopped between turns 1 and 2 there on the track. Chris Sinatra looking really fast in the last 4 races here at Riverhead Raceway. 4 straight top 5s in the 88. Chris Sinatra's been doing some racing out of state. Last week, raced Wall, New Jersey, and following day on Sunday, he was at Evergreen. Along with the number 11 there of Chevy Romney. The lights are out. We're going to be going green this time by.
Sinatra and Romney lead us down the back straightaway. As they head into the Newsday Go Zone, they fire off, green flags in the air. We're back racing here for heat race number 1. Sinatra with the early advantage on the inside takes the lead over Romney. Mike Wren settles into 3rd with Michael Metcalf in 4th. Now a battle for the 4th spot between Charlie Hodge and Michael Metcalf. Hodge takes that spot as Metcalf with a little bit of a wiggle there loses 2 more, which allowed Kevin Ornberger and Kyle Elwood to each move up a spot respectively.
Chevy Romney breaking in that new motor last night, which is the first time with that new motor in that number 11 machine there. His dad going down to North Carolina Monday doing the midnight run, picking up that motor, and back by Tuesday around 11:30 at night. About 24 hours, went down there, grabbed the motor. We have a race here for 3rd. Kyle Elwood now underneath Charlie Hodge there.
As you see here, Elwood to the inside of Hodge. Looks like Ornberger looking to try to make his way around the outside of Michael Wren for the 5th spot.
Kyle Elwood completes it there in 3rd.
Wren takes the 5th spot over from Ornberger. As the battle starts to heat up here with 3 to go around the transfer spot in 6th. At the contact between the 51 and the 22. Around goes the 92 into the wall. Caution flag is out. Man, that 92 of Ed Statlander got some airtime there.
Michael Metcalf there in the 22, the 51 of Kevin Ornberger. Ed Statlander came in late late there in the 92 to avoid everything and made some contact, it looked like, from where I'm sitting. And back into that car, got a little air there on the wall. Michael Metcalf here in the 22, kept rolling. We got a replay here on FloRacing.
As we see with the replay, the 22 and the 51 make contact, and as Ed Statlander tries to go around the outside of the spinning car of Kevin Hornberger, he gets flipped on the left rear there, and it just shoots the car up into the wall.
Ed Statlander had nowhere to go. Fortunately, caught some there at the rear end. Like you said, he caught the rear tire of Kevin Hornberger there. Looks like everybody is okay. We did stop the cars over here to clean up between turns 1 and 2 right now.
Well, as we look at our field for this heat race number 1, 2 young guys that we've said, of course, both looking hungry for their first win, and they both showed speed at times this year for their first win, whether it be the 88 of Chris Sinatra or the 11 of Chevy Romney. And then you have arguably the fastest car, not even arguably, the fastest car on the property today in practice in Kyle Elwood.
Kyle Elwood taking down his 3rd win here last night. These cars are starting to move now on the track. Kyle Elwood took over the points lead last night over Jeffrey Ferrugia. Coming into the race last night, Kyle was 268, right behind Jeffrey Ferrugia with 280. Kyle Elwood is now sitting at 318, and Jeffrey 292, sitting in 2nd place in points right now. Kyle Elwood's looking really strong throughout the whole entire season, man. 3 wins underneath his belt. He's 1 win away right now from tying Richie Davidowitz with the all-time wins. And Richie Davidowitz is back here this weekend with 29 all-time Inex Legend wins underneath his belt. Kyle has 28. We're headed off to a commercial real fast here on FloRacing. We'll be right back. Up there in the backstretch, Ed Statlander now taking a ride with Mike Cappiello there in the golf cart. Everybody is okay. Was a little bit of a scare there, getting a little air there in the Inex Legends. After last night, last lap on the feature, Chase Van Houten doing a flip and a half over in turn 4. He was okay. He walked out. He's here today, I believe, at the track. I didn't get to see him in the pits. I know he was sleeping in this morning, according to his dad. So.
Well, for sure, after seeing a scary incident like that, the main thing is, of course, the driver being okay. And it's great to see Chase walking around today.
Yeah, it's good that Chase Van Houten is okay after last night's flip and a half over there in turn 4, racing for position on the closing lap, really going for it. Ed Statlander's 92 right now in the infield. They're going to be pulling it off in turn number 4 there with the Iron Claw. With these smaller legend cars, it's a lot easier instead of a regular tow to use this Iron Claw a lot of times. With Briganti Brothers, our tow service here, Briganti Brothers Automotive. Nick and the boys. So it seems like they're going to leave the 92 right now in the infield, so we can get going and finish out this heat race. 7 laps in, 3 to go.
Well, as the field starts to get lined up here, lights are out. One thing to note, of course, some drivers' cars here showing the scars of last night's battle. Looks like Chevy Romney's missing a left front fender. As Sinatra and Romney lead us down into the Newsday Go Zone, they fire off, green flags in the air. We're racing with 3 laps to go here in heat race number 1 for the Inex Legends. Sinatra out to the lead. Elwood follows him through on the bottom for looks like the 2nd spot with Chevy Romney on his outside. He completes the move going down into turn 1. Now, does Elwood have anything for Chris Sinatra? As they come through 3 and 4, they're going to see the white flag. 1 more lap to go here in heat race number 1. Elwood is there to the bottom of Sinatra. Side by side, coming out of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Elwood with the advantage for the moment. Into 3 and 4. Sinatra drives it in hard on the outside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Elwood gets him at the line.
Kyle Elwood being the fastest car in practice, taking down the win in the heat race, followed by Chris Sinatra 2nd, Chevy Romney 3rd. Charlie Hodge 4th, and believe Mike Wren there in the 7th. I saw Wren speaking yesterday in the pits with the Romneys, Chevy and his father Michael, just getting some tips on getting that number 7 going, and just getting more and more practice and laps underneath him here on the track, finding the groove, finding what's comfortable behind the wheel there in the number 7 for Michael Wren. We have the 2nd Inex heat race coming up next. Right now they're pulling off Ed Statlander's car. We can see it on flow, some of the damage to that right rear, it looks like. We're going to have the field come up right after that. We're going to head up onto the track. And they're starting to roll there down in the paddock.
Alrighty, as we see heat race number 2 taking to the racetrack, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Betamax Trucking, Nowak Motorsports number 53, it is Ben Morabito. Starting in 2nd, in the Get Clear Crystal Clear Window Cleaning Old Farms Construction number 42, it is Pat Moore. Starting in 3rd, in the Napa of Sayville number 57, it is Alex Hallinar. Starting in 4th, in the Silver Fox Racing Bolin Racing number 27, it is Eric Hersey. Starting in 5th, in the C-Pro Marine Dock Builders, number 1, it is Nick Hodge. Starting in 6th, in the Riverhead Toyota Rudy's Bar and Grill, number 14, it is Jaden Glenister. Starting in 7th, in the Joe Ryan Race Cars, Planet Earth Recycling and Recovery, number 2, it is Jim Sylvester. Starting in 8th. Starting in 8th. In the Island Technology, number 4, it is Joe Cook Jr. Starting in 9th, in the Turf King, Roots, etc., Phil Alemo Construction, number 78, it is Phil Alemo. And rounding out the field, starting in 10th, in the Betamax Trucking, Nowak Motorsports, number 5, it is Johnny Alemo.
Johnny Alemo and Nowak Motorsports rent-a-ride there in the number 5 right now. Running in the infield, most likely he's going to get to the back of the pack with his brother there, Philip Alemo in the number 78, who's had some pretty decent runs there. So Benny Morabito has been racing all over the country, over 75 races already this year. He just wants to thank Ray and Billy Fitzgerald. They didn't get home till almost like 2:30 last night. He was racing a double race at Shenandoah over in Virginia. He finished second in both races there in the Inex Legends. He's racing for the Inex National Points for the Young Lions. And here he is, the number 53, starting up front with a hungry Pat Moore, who has entered the top 10 in points.
Ben Morabito is going to lead us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags in the air. We're racing for heat race number 2 in the Inex Legends. Morabito with a commanding lead already as they head down into 1 and 2. Hallinar to the inside of Pat Moore for the second spot.
Pat Moore did not get the start that he wanted. He's racing side by side here with Alex Hallinar. Nick Hodge there in the number 1 underneath on the bottom, going 3 wide with Eric Hersey on the outside, 3 wide as they head into turn 3.
Hersey looks to complete the move for third on the outside as they're now 3 wide behind them for 4th. Glenister again around the outside for that 4th spot as Hodge and Hallinar are losing spots in a pair.
Jaden Glenister having another really good run last night with a top 5 here at Riverhead. Looking really strong the second half of the season so far. Eric Hersey underneath Pat Moore for second position. Can he complete the pass?
Hersey still side by side with Pat Moore for that second spot. Looks to complete the move as they come off. He does. Now Glenister to the inside of Pat Moore for third. Jaden Glenister, a strong run last night, ended up P4.
Both Eric Hersey and Jaden both complete the pass there for second and third past Pat Moore. Pat Moore's been seeing a lot of improvement this season, especially the second half of the season. The more time he gets underneath his belt with Riley O'Keefe helping wrench that car. Jaden Glenister is now kind of looking on the outside, maybe diamonding it down to look underneath Eric Hersey here in the 27.
We just saw Nick Hodge get past Alex Hallinar for that 8th spot. And now we see a battle for the 6th spot between Phil Alemo and Joe Cook. Cook on the outside with the advantage at the moment. Alemo looks to fight down on the bottom for it.
Jaden Glenister now underneath Eric Hersey here for the battle for second right now, and right behind them, Jim Sylvester looking underneath Pat Moore. Oh, some contact between Jaden and Eric Hersey. Eric Hersey right around in front of us here on the front stretch. Yellow checkers.
Morabito comes across the line and take the yellow and checkered flag for the win in heat race number 2.
Right now we're holding the finish of this race. Benny Morabito taking down another win here in the heats, the second heat race that we have today here at Riverhead Raceway. Our afternoon matinee show here. So that was our second of 3 heat races.
as we're getting word that the 14 of Jaden Glenister will be penalized for the contact between him and the 27 coming to the white flag there at the end of heat race 2. He will get moved to the back behind the 27 in the results. So that means that Ben Morabito takes down heat race number 2 with Pat Moore second, Jim Sylvester third.
So we're going to start rolling this third heat race here for the Inex Legends.
Alrighty, and as we see heat race number 3 take to the racetrack, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Watermill Building Supply, Natural Designs, number 3, it is V-Ride, Mike Van Houten Jr. Starting in second, in the AJ's Painting, Riverhead Beverage, number 18, it is Jeff Ferrugia Jr. Starting in third, in the No Whack Rentals, No Whack Motorsports, number 58, it is Michael Berry. Starting in fourth, in the Joe Ryan Race Cars, Gershow Recycling, Old Farms Construction, number 02, it is Riley O'Keefe. Starting in fifth, in the Hot Works of Eastport, Mike Van Houten Trucking, number 29, it is Kendall Van Houten. Starting in sixth, in the Freddie and Megan Craft, number 25, it is Richie Davidowitz. Starting in seventh, in the Riverhead Trailer, number 33, it is Anthony Marsh. Starting in eighth, in the Amish Electric, Dave Koenig Truck and Auto Works, number 19, it is Marissa Stewart. Starting in ninth is the Fab Tech number 54 of Billy King Jr. and rounding out the field. Starting in 10th, the number 10 of Willie Burns. Lights are out on the field as they head down the back straightaway. It's going to be Mike Van Houten Jr., V-Ride, leading us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They launch.
No start there. The 18 and Jeffrey Ferrugia fired first over Mike Van Houten. Mike Van Houten is on the pole. Dictates when these cars can go between the two yellow lines there in the Newsday Go Zone. He's got to fire first before the second place car. I just want to give a quick shout out to the number 10 back there, Willie Burns, in his very first ride in the Inex Legends in a race car here in this division. Works with Kyle Elwood with Lutz Motorsports and also Michael Rakowski, and will be wheeling his first Inex Legend race here for Jeffrey Ferrugia, ride number 10. He's excited, and he's happy to be racing with the boys. Going green.
V-Ride leads us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off this time. Green flags in the air. We're racing for Inex Legend heat number 3. Ferrugia with the strong run on the outside. He's going to clear for the race lead. And now O'Keefe looks to the inside of Van Houten for second. Davidowitz behind him looks to take the third spot from V-Ride as well on the inside. He does, as now Anthony Marsh dives to the inside on V-Ride for the fourth spot.
Richie Davidowitz was working in the pits this morning on the rear gear that let go last night, that ended his night early in the Inex Legend. He just wants to thank Freddie and Megan Kraft and also his dad, Wally Davidowitz, for helping him get back out there in the Inex Legends. Riley O'Keefe is now looking under Jeffrey Ferrugia.
The battle for the race lead heats up here. Ferrugia on the outside of O'Keefe. O'Keefe has the nose in there as they head down into 3 and 4. O'Keefe with a strong run gets about even as they head down the front straightaway. He leads that lap as they head down into 1 and 2. He completes the move. Davidowitz to the inside of Ferrugia for the second spot. As now Anthony Marsh looks to take advantage for that third spot. They see the cross flags halfway here in the heat race. Anthony Marsh and Jeff side by side for the third spot. Marsh clears Ferrugia for that spot as now he looks to try to cross him over into the next corner. Ferrugia to the inside of Marsh. He doesn't get there that time. He's going to stay in fourth.
Riley O'Keefe now racing while his car is still being worked on and repaired for Jim Sylvester there in the 02. Has a win underneath his belt there out in that car. Ricky Davidowitz right behind him, big money. Anthony Marsh in third, and Jeffrey Ferrugia Seeing that battle for the lead between Riley O'Keefe and Jeffrey Frugier brought me back to them racing kiddie karts back in the day here at Riverhead Raceway. And as they moved up to each level, those two raced each other, and they've been best friends for a long time, racing Inex, not Inex, but iRacing online and stuff like that, like a lot of the kids back then. White flag, you're going to be coming to the checkers.
O'Keefe with a solid lead as they head through 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to come out at turn 4, and he's going to win heat race number 3 for the Inex Legend. As checker flag falls for heat race number 3, it is Riley O'Keefe in the O2 taking down heat race win. In second, Richie Davidowitz. Third, Anthony Marsh. Fourth, Jeff Ferrugia. Fifth, Mike Van Houten. And sixth, Marissa Stewart.
Blunderbust now are headed up onto the track right now here. They had a hard-fought battle here last night and put on a show. The Blunderbust division.
Well, as heat race number 1 hits the racetrack, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Jeans 112 Automotive Allied Poultry, number 24, it is Anthony Capabianco. Starting in second, in the Hydro Action, Licardi Builders, number 49, it is Joe Denseski. Starting in third, in the Action Auto Wreckers Island Trees Automotive, number 7, it is Tom Sullivan. Starting in fourth, in the United Exhaust Shop, number 58, it is Emily Hubbard. Starting in fifth, in the Long Island Debris PCFI, number 78, it is Bad Brad Best. Starting in sixth, in the Wegman, number 38, it is Will Steed. And rounding out the field, starting in seventh, it's the Stakey's Pumpkin Farm, Wading River Nursery, number 10 of Jim Laird Jr.
I don't see the 38 out there right now of William Steed, who raced his first race here last night, racing for William Wegman. We're going to be coming green right now.
Anthony Capabianco leads us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags in the air. Denseski already with the advantage on the outside. Clears into 1 and 2 for the race lead. Sullivan on the bottom, looking for that second spot on Anthony Capabianco.
Drag racing down here on the front stretch is Fred Tom Sullivan. Moved up to fourth position last night in the points. Here comes Jim Laird Jr. from the back, taking fourth position from Bad Breast.
And it looks to be a problem here for the 58 Emily Hubbard. Looks like she has a left front flat. She's going to pull into the infield.
No doubt about it, as Joe Denisensky now pulling away here on the front, on the back stretch. Jim Laird Jr. now passing his son there for third position, taking the position easily from him. Has his sights set now for second with Tom Sullivan. We're halfway through this time by.
As they cross halfway here, Denseski with a commanding lead over Tom Sullivan in second. Jim Laird currently holds down the third spot with Anthony Capabianco in fourth, along with Brad Best in fifth.
Jim Laird Jr. trying to close the gap right now for second position. Right now he's running third, trying to gun down Tom Sullivan. We got the 2 to go this time by with Joe Denisensky with a big lead right now.
Denseski continues to hold his advantage out front. Laird slowly closing into the back of the 7 of Tom Sullivan. does he have anything with 2 laps to go to maybe make a move for that second spot? As they come through 3 and 4 to see the white flag, Denseski in the lead. Sullivan in second, Laird in third. They're side by side for the 4th spot between Brad Best and Anthony Capabianco. Brad Best with the advantage so far as Joe Denseski comes across the line to take heat race number 1 in the Blunderbust. And for the battle for 4th, it's Brad Best at the line, beating out Anthony Capabianco for the 4th spot. As checkered flag flies for heat race number 1 in the Blunderbust, it is Joe Denseski taking down the heat race win. Second, Tom Sullivan. Third, Jim Laird Jr. Fourth, Brad Best. And fifth, Anthony Capabianco.
Rolling up now on the track is our second of 2 heat races for the Blunderbust.
And here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, he was a winner last night in the Blunderbust. In the Cesspool Pros, Li Debris Corp, number 29, it is Cody Triola. Starting in second, in the East-West Pest Control, number 4, it is Kyle Curtis. Starting in third, in the Grand Bay Irrigation Eastside Building, number 51, it is Pooch, Tom Puccia. Starting in fourth, in the United Exhaust Shop, number 21, it is Gary Caldwell. Starting in fifth, in the East-West Pest Control, number 34, it is Liam McWhinney. And starting in sixth, in the number 95, it is Brendan Patrick.
We just want to give a special shout out and welcome back Gary Caldwell there in the 21. It's just been shy of 2 years. He had some heart aneurysms. Last year he had open heart surgery around this time. He was working hard with Richie Carmi, United Exhaust System Shop there, and the team the other night. He just wants to thank him. So it's just great to see Gary Caldwell back here racing at Riverhead Raceway.
Triola leads us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags out. We're racing for Blunderbust Heat Race number 2. Triola with the advantage as they head down into turn 1. He's got the race lead, as it looks like maybe a problem with the number 4 of Kyle Curtis going slowly.
Kyle Curtis there with a left front flat pulling off the track right now. Also back there in his very first race is Pat Brand in the number 95. That's the former Jaden Owen Bader's car. So we just want to welcome him to the division. Tom Puccia here in the 51, second place. As Cody Triola leads over the field. Liam McWhinney there in third. Right now the field seems pretty strung out.
The field does start singling out here with Triola with a bit of a commanding lead, much like what we saw yesterday with the Blunderbust feature event. But in second, he hasn't been running a lot this year, but very strong showing from Tom Puccia in second.
Pooch Dog back in the 51, racing a few select races. They wanted to do the double header here at Riverhead this weekend. Him and his father, his uncle, just being here and just racing all together as a family. It's good to see the Puccia family here. Liam McWhinney looking really strong in the former Tom Piccarell, number 34, trying to find the grip down there in the bottom underneath Tom Puccia.
McWhinney is there to the inside of Puccia. He's about to the door on the inside. They slide through 1 and 2. They door slam a little bit. A little bit more contact as McWhinney pulls off the move for second on Puccia.
Liam McWhinney now pulls away. Last night, Cody Triola came into the division third in points with his win, 4 wins already this year for Cody Triola in the features. Sits second behind Joe Denisensky in points. Cody Triola just took the white flag coming down the backstretch.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time. It's Cody Triola by a commanding lead. He's going to take down heat race number 2 in the Blunderbust.
Cody Triola taking down the win. Liam McWhinney second. Tom Pucci third. Gary Caldwell, welcome back. Great to have you. And Pat Brand in his very first Blunderbust action scene here at the track, finishing 5th. We got the Eagle Chevrolet Crate Mods now coming on the track. This is one of 2 heat races for them. They raced here last night. And Richie Davidowitz for the Rat Pack took down the win.
Alrighty, as heat race number 1 hits the racetrack for the Eagle Chevrolet Crate Modifies, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Rosemar Industries Summer House Builders Rat Pack number 1, it is Big Money, Richie Davidowitz. Starting in second, in the Planet Earth Recycling and Recovery, Baiting Hollow Club number 9, it is Mike Berner. Starting in third, in the number 2, it's a debut for him in this division, it's Cookies, Christopher Coleman. Starting in fourth, in the Stakey Pumpkin Farm, Sea Crystal Pools, number 46, it is Vinny Delaney. Starting in 5th, in the Tiana Shores Lawn and Tree Service, Sunoco Strong Oil Company, number 27, it is AJ DeSantis. And starting in 6th, in the Reeve Farm Stand, Joe Ambrose Racing, number 3, it is Thomas Gratton III.
We got hot laps here for 2 laps. We'll be right back.
Already, as we see, lights are out here on the racetrack. It's going to be Davidowitz and Berner leading the front row as they head down the back straightaway. They head into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags in the air. We're racing for heat race number 1 in the crate mods. Davidowitz and Berner still side by side as they're almost 3 wide for third. Davidowitz clears for the moment for the race lead. He holds on to it down into 1 and 2 with Mike Berner in second, Vinny Delaney in third, Christopher Coleman and AJ DeSantis side by side for the 4th spot. DeSantis and Coleman still side by side for that position. DeSantis on the inside with the advantage at the moment. He clears for that spot. AJ DeSantis up to P4. As now the field starts to single out.
Vinny Delaney looked really strong last night there in the 49. Now looking underneath Michael Berner for second position. Let's see if he can grab it.
Well, as those two battle for that second spot, it has allowed the one of Richie Davidowitz to really start opening up the gap here on the rest of the field. Delaney again to the bottom of the racetrack. He doesn't complete the move. Berner still holds on to that second spot. DeSantis and P4 now starts entering into this battle, looking around, maybe looking to try to go to the high side on Vinny Delaney. Davidowitz, of course, your winner last night in the crate modifies, and Michael Berner was second as well. So the same 1-2 pairing here in heat race number 1. As they come around to see the white flags, Davidowitz with a commanding lead in the Rosemar number 1 for the moment over Michael Berner in second. As they head down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to exit turn 4. Richie Davidowitz takes down heat race number 1 in the crate modifies.
Richie Davidowitz taking the win with Michael Berner finishing second. Vinny Delaney right there in third. AJ DeSantis, and welcome back there in the number 2 of Stephen Coleman. Okay, Christopher Cookie Coleman there in the 2. I apologize. So Cookie Coleman there, Christopher Coleman, did some TQ midget racing there for Paul Dodorico. He's headed off to Oswego, going to college real soon here at the end of the month.
As we see heat race number 2 for the Eagle Chevrolet crate modifies at the racetrack, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Warren Motorsports number 15, it is Joe Warren Jr. Starting in second, in the LA Technology Group, number 09, it is Andrew Farnham. Starting in third, in the A Couple Guys Doing Stuff, Natural Designs, S&H Welding, number 18, it is Eric Hersey. Starting in fourth, a big welcome back to this guy in the number 0, it is Stephen Coleman. And starting in fifth, in the Bulbous Restoration, Tillman Redevelopment, number 22, it is Tommy Sokolsky.
2 laps here for the hot laps. So we got Christopher Coleman there in the 0. Stephen Coleman there in the 0. He's been racing, he's been working with Alpha Prime Racing as a pit crew member. Came back late from the Xfinity Series race at Watkins Glen. He does some fabricating during the week. He's also a pit crew member. He's going to be headed off to Jacksonville soon for mechanical engineering. Joey Warren Jr. in the 15, starting up here on the front row alongside Andrew Farnham. Last night, Joey Warren with a top 5 finish in 5th.
Well, lights are out here as we're about to get green. Come to the green flag. 2 guys up front, not yet visiting victory lane here in the Riverhead crate mods, but as they head into the Newsday Go Zone, they look to try to fire off. They fire off. Green flags in the air. No caution. We're going to restack them and try it again.
Weren't happy. The race director and the flagman, they weren't happy with the start of that race. We're going to regroup here, rack them up, and go again.
As they're going to try it again, they head down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off. Green flags in the air. We're racing for heat race number 2. Warren on the inside with the bit of advantage. Farnham looks to try to fight back on the outside for the lead. As sideways goes the 18 of Eric Hersey. He's around. Will that bring out the caution? As they're still side by side for the lead, caution flag is out.
Eric Hersey getting going there. I'm sure we'll have a replay here on Flo. Looked like the car just went on his own there on the bottom. We got replay here on Flo, 2 different angles.
As we see the 18 of Eric Hersey there on the bottom to the inside of the 0 of Stephen Coleman. Looks like the 18 goes around there. Maybe doesn't look like they had any contact. We'll see it from another angle this time.
Lights are out. We're going green this time by. Cars are regrouped. Joey Warren here in the front row and Andrew Farnham there on the outside.
Joe Warren leads us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off. Green flags in the air. We're back racing. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the 0 and the 09. Farnham holds on to it for the moment, and he's going to continue in that second spot as he now looks to the inside of Joe Warren maybe for the race lead. He's there to the inside of Warren is Andrew Farnham in the 09. With the advantage at the moment on the inside, he's going to clear for the race lead here. As now it looks like Eric Hersey looking for a move, maybe for third on Stephen Coleman. Hersey peeking to the inside, looks to make the move, and he gets a nose in there to the inside of the 0 of Stephen Coleman. Hersey working his way up slightly, slowly up the side of that 0, trying to make the move. Coleman with a little bit of power on the outside helps him hold on to the spot for now. Hersey back to the inside of him down the back straightaway.
Side by side down here on the front straightaway, Eric Hersey fighting for third position with Coleman. Coming down the back stretch as we're coming to the 2 to go. Almost 3 wide. Underneath Joey Warren Jr. there for position for now. Second position. Tom Sokolsky trying to follow suit.
All this fighting around the second spot has allowed Andrew Farnham to run away. As he takes the white flag, he's got a very comfortable lead as Eric Hersey clears for the second spot. Tommy Sokolsky all the way to third. A slide out of the 0. Stephen Coleman loses him some ground. They come through 3 and 4 for the final time. Andrew Farnham takes down heat race with number 2 in the crate modifieds.
Andrew Farnham taking down the win with Eric Hersey in second. Tom Sokolsky third. Joey Warren third. And following suit there in the 0, Stephen Coleman. Coming up next is the first of 2 NASCAR Tour Type Modifieds. Here at Riverhead, we have afternoon modified action.
As we see heat race number 1 for the modifieds hit the racetrack, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Millennium Limited Contracting, Beacus Garage Doors number 36, it's Kyle Elwood. Starting in second, in the Coors Lake JDL Environmental 00, it's Chris Rogers. Starting in third, in the Black Forest Auto, Esport Feeds Dillner Precast number 38, it is Owen Grennan. Starting in fourth, in the Rheem Air Conditioning, Cromer's Market number 88, it is Roger Turbish. As they head for 2 for hot laps, we're going to give it a moment. As the yellow flag comes out to to signify the end of hot laps. Looks like maybe a problem here for the 96 of Matthew Brody. In the Long Island Freightliner 96, as he's pulled to a stop here on the front stretch in the infield.
Car was having some issues on the backstretch as Chase Brennan was right behind him and had to check up there on the hot laps. Let's see if they can get Matthew Brody going. He had a heck of a run in the Bubba 150, finishing third. Such a great race that was for him and built up the confidence for that team going forward for the rest of the season. Just a little sad they can't get this car going right now for this heat race as he's being pushed into the pits. Kyle Elwood starting on the front row with Chris Rogers, who had some wrist surgery earlier this season. It's great to see Chris back out. We have both of the Grennan boys out there, Owen in the 38 and the 55 of Chase.
But with the 96 coming off the racetrack, that moves the 55 Dillon Precast Black Forest Auto number 55 of Chase Brennan up to 5th, as Elwood will lead us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags in the air. We're racing for Tour Modified Heat Race number 1. Elwood clears down into turn 1 for the race lead as Owen Brennan looks to follow him on the inside for second.
It's a busy day here for Kyle Elwood doing double duty, the modified, also the Inex Legend in the 36, while also working on some bandoleros for Emily and Alexis Gatz there in the 6 and 23. Later on, we have the Inex bandoleros coming out. Owen Brennan grabbing second position over Chris Rogers.
Behind them, we saw Chase Brennan take that 4th spot over from Roger Turbish in the 88, as now Chase looks to sets his sights on the 00 of Chris Rogers.
Chris Rogers now applying the pressure on the back bumper there of Owen Brennan in the 38.
But it's still all Kyle Elwood out front as he seems to have slightly edged out to about a 2-car length advantage.
Chris Rogers always looks strong on the long distance runs when there's a long green flag. I know this is just the heat race. But if we go green flag in the main feature, I keep an eye on that 00. That car does get fast as the laps go along. Talking with Roger Turbish earlier, last week in the Bubba 150, he was really looking forward to racing that race because on long distance runs, when there's a long green flag, he always says that car really comes to him. And last week, earlier in that race, he hit the kill switch with his elbow by accident. Shut the car off. They headed to the pits. They got everything all adjusted. Oh, 2 laps to go here.
Elwood still maintains his about 2-car length gap over Owen Brennan as they see the white flag. 1 more lap to go here in heat race number 1. Elwood leads them down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to come out of turn 4 and take down the win in heat race number 1 for the modifieds.
Kyle Elwood taking down the win with Owen Brennan there in second. Chris Rogers third. Chase Brennan fourth. Roger Turbish there, as I was talking about him, right there on lap 10. The car seemed to have a bobble coming out of 4. Car slowed down. Hopefully no major issues with that car, and he'll look strong hopefully for the feature. Here comes our second of 2 NASCAR Tour type modifieds here on Sunday afternoon. So used to racing here on Saturdays, AJ. But today is Sunday, and it's great to see these NASCAR Tour type modifieds out here on a Sunday and afternoon show.
Alrighty, as we see heat race number 2 making its way onto the racetrack, here's your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, in the Senlewski Architects Earth Splendor number 49, it is Chris Young. Starting in second, in the Esport Feeds RP Fabrication and Pole Barn number 10, it is Dylan Slepian. Starting in third, in the Gershow Recycling Hausfeld RV Plus number 21, it is JR Bertuccio. Starting in fourth, in the Reichert Group IGA Market Shore Mechanical number 33, it is CJ Lehman. Starting in fifth, in the Cromer's Market North Fork Sanitation number 81, it is Mark Stewart. And starting in sixth, in the Elite Sound Studio number 5, it is John Beatty Jr. As they're going to take 2 hot laps, we'll be back in a second. As the yellow flag signifies the end of hot laps, we see the field starting to get lined up here.
Chris Young starting on the pole in this second heat race with Dylan Slepian right on the outside. Dylan Slepian and that crew's been really looking for the groove and trying to get some consistent runs underneath their belt there in the number 10. Looks like we may have some debris or something over there in turn number 2 right now. The yellow remains out. Jared Petruccio in the number 21, not his familiar number 2 ride here tonight. CJ Lehman had such a great run last night. There in the late models, racing Alyssa Paparocki's number 5 late model, having a great run. Had some issues at the end of the night in tech. Car was a little underweight. But seeing Ed Cheslak taking down the win, his first late model win last night, was just amazing. Eddie was talking about how he learned the crossover move the week before, watching his buddy Sean Glennon, who Eddie is a spotter for in the Super Pro trucks, doing the crossover move. And it was fresh in his mind there in the late models last night, and took advantage of it, grabbed the lead in that race, and never looked back. CJ Lehman was really strong in the closing laps of that race. He's looking to win in his 6th different division here at Riverhead Raceway, and he was looking pretty strong there in the late models here last night. It's been in about 5 years since he's won a modified race, feature race here in the number 33. Looking to get back into victory lane in the NASCAR Tour Type Modifieds in the family-owned ride. We're going to be going green this time by.
Chris Young leads us down into the Newsday Go Zone. They fire off, green flags in the air, we're racing. As Young powers out to the race lead, going down into 1 and 2. Slepian slots in from the bottom, from the top to the bottom, into 2nd place, with Bertuccio sliding into 3rd place. Side by side is the 81 of Mark Stewart and the 33 of CJ Lehman for 4th. Stewart takes that spot as now John Beatty and CJ Lehman are side by side for 5th.
Field going single file early in this heat race, 2 laps in right now. Chris Young taking the lead, started on the pole. battled there early, the first lap with Dylan Slepian, but pulled ahead of him. Slepian sitting second there in the POS Motorsport with J.R. Bertuccio in the 21. Marky Stewart right behind him. John Beatty Jr., who right now is your points leader in the championship. Chase Grennan sitting in second. Dylan Slepian third right now in your modified points. Chris Young, who right now is your leader, is sitting fourth.
As Chris Young looks to have a bit of a lead here in heat race number 2 for the modified. J.R. Bertuccio is slowly starting to eke into second place. Dylan Slepian, can he make the move here? As it looks like JR's trying to set him up.
Just a correction in points. John Beatty Jr. is leading with Chase Grennan right behind him, but Roger Turbish, who was in the last heat race, sits third in points with Dylan Slepian, and then Chris Young in fifth in the points battle coming into this race. Still single file, 10 laps with 2 to go.
As Young comes around, he's going to see the white flag. One more lap to go here in heat race number 2 for the Tour Modified. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Young with a bit of a comfortable lead as they head through 3 and 4. They come out. Chris Young wins heat race number 2 for the Tour Modified. As checker flag flies for heat race number 2 in the Tour Modifies, it is Chris Young taking down the win. Second place, Dylan Slepian. Third place, J.R. Bertuccio. Fourth place, Mark Stewart. Fifth place, John Beatty Jr. And sixth, C.J. Lehman. Opening ceremonies are on the way. We'll be back in a moment.